change the future while picking up dessert? Make renewable energy while cooking dinner. Reduce greenhouse gases and still be cozy. Are we moving towards a future we'll be proud of a decade from now? At Fortis BC, we're rethinking the future of energy. By working with communities and industry partners, we have a plan to help reduce our customers' greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by 2030. Check our progress.
British Columbia is a land where raw wilderness thrives, a place where culture is shaped by nature. No one knows this province better than its people. Those whose ancestors have known this land for millennia, and those who choose to call this place home. Communities and proud British Columbians know the beauty and wonder of BC's expansive, pristine nature. That richness is found in the grandeur of our mountains, the wild coastline of our ocean, the living traditions of our Indigenous cultures, and the treasures of our small towns and cities. Until 2020, tourism was one of the most significant drivers of economic success in BC, growing faster than the provincial economy as a whole, as it generated a continuous stream of revenue, employment, social, and cultural benefits. By working collaboratively and supporting each other's efforts, our province-wide tourism network helped to cultivate an industry worth $20.5 billion in 2018. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, an industry poised for incredible growth over the next decade came to an abrupt halt and will now take time to recover. Today, British Columbians are pulling together. We're stepping up to do our part, and our actions are making a difference in the fight against COVID-19. However, we know that with great responsibility comes great sacrifices for communities, businesses, and residents across our province. Now, more than ever, we want British Columbians to understand how tourism has the power to enrich all of our lives by contributing to our collective social, cultural, and economic well-being. Working together, we can begin the recovery process to refuel this vital economic engine as we engage our communities and push forward when the time is right, and by continuing to follow the directives coming from BC's Provincial Health Officer. Our industry consists of long-standing relationships with government, Indigenous communities, destination marketing organizations, industry partners, tourism businesses, and residents, and we have enjoyed incredible collaboration over the years. We've seen extraordinary investment in strategic planning through a province-wide destination development program. Over 1,800 tourism decision-makers came together to create 10-year destination development plans for 19 planning areas across the province. Everything we have done together before the pandemic has set us up to recover stronger through the next decade and beyond. Together, we can catapult ourselves into a new future. We know we must give people compelling reasons to travel to and throughout British Columbia. Intentional destination development planning helps communities create those compelling experiences and will ensure travelers choose BC over other destinations in the future. BC is ripe with high potential and impactful tourism projects. Aligning investments in significant tourism products and experiences can provide many benefits. It creates jobs, attracts private investment to BC, reinvigorates rural economies, and enhances the quality of life for BC residents. Over the past year, significant work has happened throughout our tourism ecosystem. Together with the provincial government and other partners, direct funding and support has been made available to communities, tourism businesses, visitor centers, and regional and sector organizations. All of this is helping the tourism industry weather the COVID-19 pandemic. This support has included $105 million in dedicated relief grant funding from the provincial government for tourism businesses, with $5 million specifically targeted to Indigenous businesses. $10 million investment by the provincial government to help community destination marketing organizations continue operating and supporting their local tourism businesses. Another $53 million by the provincial government to create jobs and spur economic development for tourism businesses through investment in local and regional tourism infrastructure projects. Destination BC has invested more than $14.5 million in funding to enhance partner programs across our province. We've also worked with Destination Canada to develop a new program that resulted in an additional $6 million for cities, communities, and sector organizations. Together, we'll continue to share the beauty and inspiration of British Columbia and its people. And when the time is right, we'll welcome visitors back to our communities and tourism businesses across the supernatural province. Destination BC will be here to support BC's tourism industry along the road to renewal, guided by the directives of BC's Provincial Health Officer. Working with all of you, we can pull together to overcome the many challenges we have seen. And we will, once again, deliver sustainable social, cultural, environmental, and economic benefits for all British Columbians, safely and responsibly.
Welcome to the Forum Main Stage, everyone. We're broadcasting live from LGLA headquarters at 525 Government Street in lovely Victoria. My name is Gabby Vindish, and I am the Executive Coordinator of the Local Government Leadership Academy. I would like to thank everyone for spending their valuable time with us and remind you that your participation has earned you significant points towards our Leadership Certification Program. You can find out more by visiting the lgla.ca website or by visiting the LGLA booth right here on our event platform. We have some great material lined up for you, so let's get to it.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Councillor Lori-Ann Rudenberg from the City of Quesnel, and it is my pleasure to welcome you today as President of the Local Government Leadership Academy. There have been many firsts in the lives of organizations in BC and all over the world. This virtual forum is a first in the life of the LGLA. We were bound and determined to bring local government leaders together at the usual time, if not the usual place, and we've accomplished what we've set out to do. We are here together to interact, to learn, to feel support of this incredible community of leaders, and to draw strength from each other's experiences. Together, we can tackle the new challenges of what we hope will be a positive year in all respects. The title of our forum this year is Leading in Unprecedented Times. The events of this past year and the events still unfolding have forced us to examine, to reevaluate, and draw conclusions that are contributing to a new blueprint, a dynamically evolving user guide to a new era. We've assembled a colorful program for you that includes emergency response, the evolution of council staff relations, technology, sustainability, business, investment, a legal angle, and more. The common thread throughout this forum, however, is the resilience of local governments and their communities in unprecedented times as they use communication, collaboration, and creativity to move forward. In my career as a counselor, I've never had to reach out to communicate, to share, and receive information as much as I've had to do in the past 12 months. If we want to swim with the tide of communication, we will need to continuously hone our skills and remain abreast of new developments, and most importantly, to take part, as you are doing right now. So sit back, enjoy the program. No need to take notes, as the material will be available online for the next couple of months after our event, another plus for virtual events and the online legacy they provide. There will be many speakers coming to you to present from various parts of BC. I am proud to be speaking to you from my home and place of work in northern BC, from the traditional land of the Taco-Dene Nation. And through the magic of technology, we now fly thousands of miles down to the island, to beautiful Saanich, to your virtual host of the Leadership Forum, to the land of the traditional territories of the Algonquin Peoples Nations. Thank you.
Asiam na chewacha, Asa na amtanat. Haij ga gwensna techo hela et tutlanata. Haij ga siam gwensna techo tianat. To my friends, I would like to welcome you to the traditional lands of the Lekwungen people, and I want to thank you for being here today. I also want to welcome the delegates from the local government forum, and I ask that you remember to create a strong bond with the local First Nations in your communities. Create that bond and that strength for the next generations to come. Haij Gasiam.
Greetings to all delegates of this year's Local Government Leadership Academy Forum. Welcome. I'm Fred Haynes, the Mayor of the District of Saanich, and so honoured to be able to welcome everyone to Saanich on the traditional territories of the Wasaniks and the Wollahongwins speaking peoples as the virtual host of this year's forum. Exactly 1 year ago, the annual Leadership Forum was held in Richmond at the Radisson Airport Hotel. I'm sure many of you were there, and at the time, none of us could have predicted that the next forum would have been held under such drastically altered COVID-19 circumstances. The theme for this year's forum is Leading in Unprecedented Times, and haven't they been? Which absolutely describes what all of us have been doing this past year. We have been leading without a script, without the benefit of historical precedent, and charting a brand new course. Saanich and local governments all around the province shifted into high gear, and as the attention of our population turned to us sharply, asking for direction, asking for certainty, asking for comfort, and calling for cohesion and demanding leadership, in the glare of spotlight, we needed to communicate and collaborate at an exponential level. We had each other, we had leadership tools, and what we didn't know, we figured out along the way. Together, relying on each other's experiences, particularly with our frequent phone calls, we started drafting a blueprint. This year's Leadership Forum, where we're exploring how the events of 2020 have helped shape local government, what we learned and what skills, technologies and resources will be crucial to navigate our continued uncharted waters. The forum seeks answers to the question we're all asking ourselves and being asked by our residents. What is here to stay? Has the pandemic fast-tracked us on a path that we now stay on? Remote work, virtual meetings, creative online public engagement. The mental health and stress of COVID is something to be all dealing with. What does this mean to you, the leaders in local government? And what will help you to provide strong leadership as we move forward? Our collaborations with the provincial and federal governments is important, but more importantly, how we work together is going to be key. The blueprint is being worked on by all of us, and your experiences, whether you represent a remote northern electoral area, a mid-sized, rapidly growing community, or a large urban lower mainland community, are crucial to add that information to the mosaic. For Saanich, during the last 12 months, they've been ones of collaboration, learning new approaches, and for the rapid evolvement in communication technology and innovation. These have been expensive, they've been challenging, and have been difficult times for our council and staff. We've needed to be flexible on our ways of working together to deliver the essential services our community needs, especially in times of COVID uncertainty. I'm so very proud to say that these times of the harsh COVID-19 induced disarray that others like Saanich, I'm sure all members of the LGA, stepped up to overcome hurdle after hurdle to deliver for your communities. We have kept them safe and comforted by delivering on our core responsibilities, combined with working hand in hand with our partners at the provincial and federal levels. We have been tested like never before. From these experiences, I believe that we in local government are well positioned to come back stronger by building on what we have learned. We can now add what we discovered in terms of technology, the new ways of collaborating, the new ways of having conversations with our residents, and through this, create a blueprint for a very bright future. Enjoy the forum, share your ideas, which will no doubt inspire you and others. It will add to our arsenal of leadership tools and connect you virtually with colleagues all across British Columbia. It is through the LGA that we can step up and do better. On behalf of Saanich Council, I wish you all the very best in your future endeavours, and your frontline workers as the leaders of this province needs to be recognised. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Haynes, for that introduction to the Leadership Forum and for being the virtual host of this important event. I have the privilege of speaking to you from the geographical centre of British Columbia, which is Vanderhoof, and from the ancestral territory of the Saikaz Nation. As Lori-Ann had stated in her opening address, we can be proud that communication, collaboration, and creativity defined our actions in the year that is behind us. I would like to add one more word that continues to define us: commitment. The commitment of all local governments to their communities and to coming together as a cohesive and unified voice of local government. It is that commitment that is contributing to partners like the LGLA, UBCM, and the province to be part of a cohesive whole, and I'm proud to be part of an organization that is projecting a unified voice for the world around us. It is a proven recipe for success. As UBCM president, I had the opportunity to be part of a groundbreaking effort on the part of the UBCM team to bring you the first virtual UBCM convention. It was really something to witness the ability and willingness by UBCM staff to embrace technology, to step up to the plate and transform a traditional live event to a virtual platform virtually overnight. The success of the UBCM convention proved that a positive approach to altered means of communication was gratefully and graciously received, and that the effort had been recognized and valued by our membership. And it is by no means a small effort to bring an event of this size to an audience. Congratulations to the Local Government Leadership Academy for making this happen. We have people here today united by broadband, satellite, and fiber optics technology on one hand, but also the desire to participate. Both aspects, technology and a positive attitude, are necessary for us to persist in our continued communications efforts in this vast and beautiful province we are lucky to call our home. The subject of our keynote today is communications. The explosion of data in our lives offers great potential for being more responsive, resilient, digitally driven communities. But at the same time, digital strategies raise questions of equality of access, privacy, and ethics. Nora Young, our keynote speaker today, is an expert communicator. She is host of CBC's Radio's Spark and the author of The Virtual Self. Today, Nora looks at the big picture changes in our data-driven future and how to prepare for those changes and the pitfalls to watch out for. Please welcome our keynote presenter, Nora Young of CBC, for a timely and exciting topic of communications, seeing the forest and the trees. Nora will be available for audience questions following her presentation.